Yeah. Oh shit, this is exciting. There's a short, and then I shorted again up there, but then too bad I took it early, and then, oh god, is it pushing back up? Hello YouTube. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jenner. I'm a professional day trader with a little over 6 years of experience of day trading every day, not missing a day. In this video, I'm going to do the intro, I'm going to do the video layout, I'm going to do the types of prop firms, educate you on what a future is. We're going to go over the leverage involved in using prop firms. We're going to go over the importance of cutting losses. We're going to go over generating alpha, mindset, who wins at trading, the summary, and the outro. Prop firm types. First of all, what is a prop firm? A prop firm is a company that exists to give you more buying power than you would otherwise have trading your own money through a brokerage. Now, why is this important? Because if you're a profitable trader and you want extra money to add to your system, you go to a prop firm to give you that buying power. There's a few different types of prop firms. We're gonna go. There's the brick and mortar guys where you show up there and you trade in their office. There's remote ones where they let you trade over the internet, which most of them do, because I think even the ones that were having you come in to trade with them now do online, right? For the brick and mortar guys, the guys that used to have you come in. Then there's the evaluation based ones, which are all internet based, online. You do everything over the internet. I'm currently trading with evaluation prop firms myself, which I will be trying the other kinds of prop firms too. There's different kind of prop firms that let you trade different kinds of products. So there's forex prop firms, there's futures trading prop firms, there's equity trading prop firms, there's a contract for difference prop firms. I believe some of the forex prop firms let you do contracts for difference, but contracts for difference are illegal in the USA, so I think you can only do that if you decide to trade overseas. So what is a futures? A futures is a contract that was invented for farmers and people that need to buy in bulk directly from the farm. So how was a futures created? Well, back in Japan, that year was the first futures exchange to ever exist. It was created because people needed to buy rice in bulk. So the rice farmers would come and they'd sell their rice for sale at an exchange, where an exchange is where people come together, where they can bid upon a good price to buy and sell their product that they need to sell. Why do exchanges exist? Because there's so much business that needs to be done in terms of keeping product flowing. It creates a pipeline for transactions to happen in a place where people know that they can go and get it, and where they can go and sell their product too. So futures. So that's why futures were created. Futures these days, because people can speculate over the price of futures, now involve a ton of leverage, because in most brokerage accounts, if you were to trade with your own money, you would have to do like $12,000 for us just to be able to trade in and out of a single S&P 500 E-mini futures. For one single oil future, that'd be $30,000 to trade just one oil contract. Now, prop firms give you the ability to trade tens or even more than that if you prove yourself and you make enough money for them over time. They'll let you do that. And if you blow the account, you only lose like maybe 10, 20,000 at most, getting to trade like, I don't know, 10, 20. And if you've been doing this for long enough and they trust you enough, sometimes 100 contracts of buying power. Now, a single futures contract on crude oil or the S&P 500 can win or lose you $500 in a matter of 5 minutes anyways. Sometimes 2,000, 3,000 if the market's volatile enough. So playing with 100 contracts at a time, whoa, oof. Hey, if you got the skill to do that, then let me learn from you. Okay, so the importance of cutting losses, because futures are leveraged like I say they are, and on top of that, these prop firms giving you even more leverage to play with. If you're trading through a prop firm and you're trading a leveraged product like a future, or if you're doing Forex, some of these prop firms will give you, like, I'm not sure the exact number, but I want to pull a number out of my ass and say 200 to 1 leverage, because on a normal brokerage firm, I want to say you get 20 to 1 leverage. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to have to throw those numbers up here later once I research it and throw it on my screen. So cutting your losses is very important. When you're given a bunch of leverage to use on top of leveraged products, what do you think can happen if you're positioned the wrong way and it goes against you for even a little bit? Well, you're gonna blow the account pretty quickly. So cutting losses, you better cut your loss, because otherwise there goes your 10K that you invested. Now, that's that. I'm trying to do this as fast as I can because this would literally take hours for me to explain. So I'm doing this in short form so you understand, and we have a basic blueprint for people to follow me, so that way you don't lose all your money and get mad like, hey man, I was listening to you. And no, I'm not telling you to trade. If it's not something that interests you, don't do it, because you will lose money. You will blow accounts. I've blown hundreds of accounts. Okay. So cutting losses is important, because if you don't cut your loss, you, even without the leverage of prop firms, let me see, I heard stories of a guy who bought a single oil futures, oil, or was it the S&P 500? Anyways, the guy started with $50,000 in his brokerage account. He went long or short. I don't remember the story exactly, but what I do know is that he opened it a week later and he was up $1 million. He was like, "Oh, great! This is all I have to do is just buy oil or whatever, and I can make $1 million in a week like that. Okay, let me check back in a week and see where it's at." He closed his laptop, and his position had been liquidated for him at a $1 million loss. He owed his brokerage an awful lot of money. So these things are dangerous, which is why prop firms can actually be to your benefit. They'll just liquidate the account, but you're not going to owe them money, right? That's actually the real beauty of it. But only do this if you are real pro and you've got real experience doing this, and you know what you're doing. I'm just giving you a basic layout of what this stuff is, and hopefully it's a blueprint enough for people who've already done enough homework. So okay, that's the importance of cutting losses. You will lose it all if you don't cut a loss. Okay, now we're going to talk about generating alpha. The reason we trade is to make money. Hey, I'm just there trying to make a little bit of money. So alpha, what is alpha? That's money earned beyond the expected rate of what buying the S&P 500 index would generate you, which is around 10, averages out to around 10% a year. So the goal of day trading is to generate alpha, and plus it's a little exciting too. Actually, I love it. That's why I do it. It's not just for the money, because the headache it can cause you if you're not on the right side of a trade is just tremendous. So if you don't enjoy it, don't do this. Please, stay away. Stay away, dude. Don't do this just for the money. Okay. Um. So the goal of day trading is to generate alpha, because otherwise, if you weren't generating alpha, why wouldn't you just leave it in the S&P 500 to grow at 10% a year? You could probably, you would for sure turn $100,000 into more than a couple million by the time you retire if you had a if you had that hundred if you kept on adding up if you kept on adding to the point where you put a whole $100,000 in there over the course of like 20 years, I'm sure you'd have $1 million by the end of. I don't know the number. I'm pulling these numbers out of my ass. Please don't chew me out if I get this wrong, but I'll try to look for a screenshot to throw these numbers on the screen right there. What you'd get after 20 years of putting like 20,000 a year into the S&P 500 or something like that. I don't know. It can be tremendous because it compounds, right? Because it's 10%, 10%, 10% more than that, 10% more than that, you know? Okay, so the point of day trading is to generate alpha, because otherwise you could literally just leave your money in the passive in the index passively, and you'd be a millionaire with zero effort just because the S&P goes up over time. So if you're not serious about trading, don't day trade. Okay. Mindset. Now, I don't know, mindset can be dangerous too, because you can have the skill to win, but because you get frustrated, you can go on what they call tilt, which is a term that comes from gambling, from playing poker or playing blackjack and stuff like that, which is mean you're just trying to get back. So you're just doing whatever to try to make your money back, and it ends up killing you because the market just does what it does. And if you're not doing this intelligently, you're quite easily going to blow up your whole account and have to start over, going back to work to make money or whatever it is. Hopefully you don't drive yourself to the poorhouse. So that's your mindset. Don't blow your account. Okay. Who wins at trading? Well, I'll tell you, a lot of these big institutional firms, who they hire are PhD mathematicians and physicists and computer scientists. You might ask yourself, why physicists? Why is that important? Well, if you're trading a futures products, literally we're speculating on the price of farm animals and commodities like oil and wheat, and they're leveraged. So it's not like, oh, it goes up a few cents, whoopee, I made 2 cents. No, you're trading a leveraged product. So if oil goes up 1 penny and you're long one contract, you just made $10. Or if it goes up $1, you just made $1,000. And if you're long like a few contracts, then hey, that's a few $1,000. So these are very leveraged. You can lose just as fast as you make money. So please don't start doing this because you think it's a good idea. Just, I don't know, do it if you want, but don't take my advice over it. So physicists, PhDs get hired by these huge institutional level money managers and hedge funds and investment bankers, so that way they can measure the weather and the amount of sunshine that's coming through at a time, to along with how much rain has happened, to correctly price in whether corn is going to go up or down, or start taking profits at the correct value of where it should be, or start buying back their short position at wherever the price should come down to, or vice versa, or anything could happen, or buy options or sell options, or where the expected values of where they could make more money. So yes, this is can be a lot of math at it. For someone that's not running equations into a spreadsheet, it's going to be a lot more abstract, and some people might go off feel. I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to the people that want to trade their own money, because I can't tell you what to do with your money, because my style is not going to work for you, because you're you and I'm me. So Those are just the people that are hired. Who wins at day trading? Well, people that are really disciplined, because like I said, you could lose everything pretty quickly and end up owing your brokerage millions of dollars if you're not careful. And how do you make back that money? I don't know. I hope you're smart. Okay, so the summary is, what you've seen what prop firms are. I explained to it. They basically are there to allow you to have more money to trade, and typically this is for people that are already seasoned and veterans and have winning systems and can use extra leverage from these proprietary trading firms to win, because it takes money to live, and if you have a winning system, hey, why not look for extra buying power somewhere? Okay, what is the futures? Futures exist for farmers and people who need inventory. For, let's say, Kellogg's. Kellogg's needs a bunch of corn all the time from corn farmers. People need beef in the supermarket. You're not the only one going to the supermarket to buy your prime rib. There's freaking 1,000 people going to that same grocery store to buy another few pounds of meat, which is already a few thousand pounds, right? Because you're not the only one buying a few pounds of meat at that one grocery store. And then there's 10 grocery stores in each city. So that's how many hundreds of thousands of pounds? So literally they all come together in the exchange. That's why futures exist. Remember, they're leveraged, so you will lose everything if you don't cut your freaking loss. So that's the importance of cutting a loss. Why we covered cutting losses. Generating alpha. We don't just day trade just for shits and giggles, because yes, it can be fun, and I do it because I enjoy it. But if the point was to make money and I wanted to do it easy, I just put my money in the S&P 500. So the point of day trading is to generate alpha. Your mindset. If you're not clear up here, you're going to mess yourself over, because these, especially if you're doing for a prop firm and you're doing leverage products, you will blow your account. Guarantee. Who wins at it? People that are disciplined. People that are disciplined. I've blown hundreds of counts. I'm telling you right now, this is not cheap. It can cost you everything. It can leave you sleeping on the concrete before you know it. So all right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't take what I'm saying lightly. If you decide to get you one of these futures, prop firms or forex prop firm or whatever it is that you want to do, approach with caution, because this can kill you. People jump off buildings over this stuff. And don't blow all your money at the casino.
Why would I throw in the towel? I just got on my bag. I don't make no mistakes. I'm coming for mine.